This is Carrie Glector with Meigs Independent Press, back on Meigs Forward, and my guest this week is Ben Nease. And we've been talking a little bit about what's been going on as far as the business, and you took it over and you've been growing it and everything, but talk about a little bit more about what your students do. What do you offer?
Well, we teach a mixture of martial arts. I say we try to teach what works. Primarily, it's the basis of Okinawan karate, which is one of the oldest forms of it. So that was really based around self-protection and self-improvement. So we're very big on history and philosophy, so we try to make every curriculum centered around that to help people grow and to learn how to believe in themselves, whether that be through becoming more physically fit or just learning who they are through more self-expression. So we have all ages. My youngest student's probably 5, my oldest is 70, which I've had older, but right now my oldest student's 70. All ages can benefit from it. It's just not, some people think it's a child endeavor, but it's not. Anybody can benefit from it.
And you can begin at any time in your life.
Oh yeah. My 70-year-old student started at 65, so
okay.
Yeah, you can start anytime. Yeah. So no, it's my main focus is just to show people how to believe in themselves, and I feel when you use traditional martial arts, you can do that quite easily. It's very very self-revealing. It really shows you who you are once you get to the nitty-gritty of it. So.
Now you pull students not just from Meigs County, but around the region.
Yeah, it fluctuates. At one point, the majority of our students were coming from Gallia County. Right now, I think most of our students are coming from the Racine area.
Oh wow!
But it fluctuates. We have a lot of students from Point Pleasant. My longest driving students are coming from Crown City, so they could actually get to Huntington in 15 minutes, but they drive this way instead. Then we may have a couple in Athens. And of course, we have a lot in Middleport too.
Well, tell us a little bit more about exactly because you don't just have the school, and you're not just inwardly focused. You've been doing a lot of different things. In the past couple of years, you've been doing a breakathon. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the breakathon.
Well, about 3-4 years ago, it's weird, but I was on a plane coming back from California visiting with family, and I knew that I had no doubt the karate school was going to be around forever, but I wanted to ask myself what at the end of my career, what could I hang my hat on the most? And usually in my industry, it's usually how many titles you've won or how many students you have, I just wasn't interested in that. I wanted to be able to leave my career knowing that we made a positive impact in many different areas, and I thought we need to start a fundraiser. So initially, I thought if we could just make $3,000 every year, it would be good. So our first year we got a little over 10,000. The second year we doubled to 20, and then this weekend we just finished up around 31,000. So it's the first year it benefited the wellness center of the new Blakesley Center, which is still under remodel. But I mean, if they just have one person come in their wellness center and add 10 years to their life, I think that was a pretty good investment. Their performing arts center, also at the Blakesley Center, if you get one kid that improves their confidence based off performing arts, it's worth it. So this year the money went to the three marching band programs, Southern, Wahama, and Meigs, and we all know how impactful music can be on someone's life. So that's really it. I just wanted the breakathon. I wanted to know that I really made a positive impact by the time I wrap it up. Might be 50 years from now. I don't know when I can retire, but when I do, I'll know that we've already made a positive impact.
Well, the interesting thing about it is it's not just you're not just raising this money. I mean, I know there's a lot of social media marketing that you do and things, but you really get the kids involved in this. and they get to be a part of that whole community spirit and atmosphere. So you're teaching something to your students too.
Yeah. Well, one thing we teach this on many different levels, but at a young age, we provide achievement stripes based off improvements they make. One is a silver stripe for courtesy. So that's based on, how kind they are to other people. So we have that, and then, on lessons for older students, we teach a lesson that no matter how successful you are, you cannot owe that entirely to yourself. There was always somebody there that helped you get there. Even your adversaries in life should be thanked because they inspired you to push a little harder. So martial arts, again, going back to the history and philosophy, it is about selflessness. I mean, you are improving yourself, but you also have to think about the people around you. So our students participating in the breakathon, they're just living that code of the ancient warriors, of looking out for their community and looking out for the people around them. So that's one way they're inspired to get behind it. We also have some pretty cool prizes they get.
Yeah, there's an award system there.
There is
a reward there.
There is, but a huge group of the kids this year who gave $10, $15, to their last penny. They weren't given a physical prize, and they weren't complaining about it either. They were doing it to help some out. Our second place winner this year is not from this area. He's from Michigan. He's 18 years old. He knows nobody around here, but he wanted to give back. So he worked an overtime shift until he was able to donate $2,400 to save the music. So he had nothing in it besides kindness. So.
Well, I know, having experience working, concession booths and things at the fair with Meigs Band Boosters. I worked with Southern Band Boosters in the past too. I know we used to figure out how many tacos in a bag or how many hot dogs we have to sell to be able to buy that instrument, or to be able to provide for that field trip. So when you presented them with, of course they were the big pretty checks, but they were presented with over $10,000 each for each of those schools. I mean, that is incredible. That's a huge boost. That's an amazing achievement because, first of all, you broke the $50,000 mark in 3 years. You guys have raised over $50,000.
I think we're at 62,000 now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And if you've ever done fundraising, you understand that really is amazing. And then you have all these different levels of teaching involved and everything. It's really, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here, because you're not just investing in your business, you're investing in the community and doing things and that's what Meigs Forward is about, is culture change. And what you've been doing is culture change, through one kid at a time.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've mentioned to a few people, and I don't think it's been entirely well received, but I feel if you go into business primarily to make money, you're going to fail miserably. You really need to go in for the outcome before the income. If you go in to make a positive impact with your passion, income won't be a problem. But people who go in for income first, it's like the passion's not there, so it fizzles out. But if you go in to make a difference first, the money won't be a problem. It all falls into play. I mean, from the business standpoint, or even from fundraising, if you go in for the right reasons, you'll be okay. So.
Well, this past weekend, you were recognized at the Meigs County Chamber of Commerce and Tourism.
Right after the breakathon.
Right after the breakathon.
Tired, but I went.
I believe in your acceptance speech you mentioned you'd had a board broken over your head.
Literally.
I went back and watched that video, and you really did have a board broken over his head.
We made $200 off that, so a $200 concussion. Yeah.
That's I don't know that I would do that for $200, but I don't know. Pledge now for the Meigs Independent Press. No, I'm just kidding. But you received the best first impression, which involves not just the physical appearance of your building, but also the welcoming atmosphere and how you're received in the community and how you are and what your role in the community is. And you spent a lot of money on the building.
Yeah, it was I believe it's a 4-year renovation. I started when I bought the business, and It's somewhere in the ballpark of 50,000. It's a little over that, but going off tax records, I know it's about at least 50,000. It's an awesome building. It just needed a lot of updating, and we're done. I mean, we might have to paint this wall in the next year or so, but we're basically done. It's 4,000 square feet. I would put it against any other martial arts facility in the entire state easily. The average martial arts school in the United States is 1,200 square feet. We're over 3 times that. And I can't go into too much detail, but we are very, very close into expanding the facility. Hopefully we'll be able to make a press release on that within the next couple of months. But it's I wanted it to I did the big remodel. I didn't have to do a remodel. I just could have did it bare bones, but I did it because I wanted the county to have something again to be proud of, because like I say, you can compare it to any other martial arts school in the state. I've been to martial arts schools in Delaware, Maryland, California, Columbus, Dayton, and it's very hard to find one as well equipped and nice as ours. But I wanted the county to have something to be proud of, and I think it's very important that the kids who don't necessarily fall into the team sport environment, they have a loving environment to come to in the evening. A place where they are accepted for who they are, and it feels like a second home to them. The dojo, I don't know if it is my second home, because I swear I'm there more than I'm at my own house. But anyway, I still want it to feel like home for a lot of people. So I think we've done that. I can't get them to leave.
And that's been inside and out. You've done all kinds of things. If you notice that I know you have a tiger outside the building, and
a life-size tiger, and the other is it's a Chinese food dog. It's a food dog.
Okay.
That is the mouth is open on the food dog. It goes in the Chinese philosophy, and if I remember, there's a male and female. We have a male out front, and the mouth is open to absorb any bad omens or bad energy as you enter the front door. So it's a positive environment. But that was very old. That was donated by a local gentleman, and we restored it this spring and finally got it outside. So, but those are, I really, really like those. Hopefully they stay there for a long time.
And I know that one of the things that you talked about during your acceptance speech was that you chose to be in Middleport. You could be somewhere else, but and I know you're active in doing some things to revitalize part of the revitalization of Middleport.
Yeah, well, it always, when you're starting to get your wheels turning, you always ask yourself, do I stay here? Do I go somewhere else? What would be better? And I was adamant in staying in Middleport. I think you have to live there and work there to understand the town, how wonderful it is, and how a lot of the negativity that's being spread is just someone's perception. Perception doesn't always mean it's fact, And there's a lot of, if we had time, I could really go into why Middleport is such a fantastic place to have a business. I don't regret it a bit. I'd put down everything I own, that if I went to Gallipolis, I would not be near as successful. Even if I went to Athens County, I wouldn't be near as successful. And there's lots of, people have more expendable income in this area than they would in places where mortgages are higher. So that really is important for a recreational business. So,
okay.
Yeah, and Middleport's geographically centered. Our pull radius from Middleport is 76,000 people. Pull radius is determined by 15-minute drive during rush hour in all 4 directions. We don't have a rush hour.
I was going to say, we don't have a rush hour.
We don't have a rush hour. So in the time people are getting off work and coming through, we can do a circle reaching 76,000 people. So that's Middleport. So, and that's anybody who has an eye clinic. That's anybody who has a hardware store. That's anybody who puts any business in Middleport. You can reach a lot of people.
Okay. This is Meigs Forward, and I'm Carrie Gleckner. My guest this week has been Nease, and we'll be right back with part 3.